Hey gamers, welcome back to Banished Souls. Captain Cryptic here. Hope you've been having a wonderful week. It is now the weekend. So, I'm going to show you some of our ship builds and talk about some of the upcoming updates coming out on Monday. So, if you watched our last week video, it sounded like a lot of that stuff was pushed to this coming Monday. We're going to go back over that real quick. So what you're looking at is you're going to see an expansion of warehouse space. It has not exactly said how much we're going to get, but we are going to see larger warehouses coming out Monday night, Tuesday morning, depending what time zone you're in. So that's going to be a great thing to have. Of course, when we go to our storage, you're going to be able to buy more of those ammunition types. Now, whether that's going to be from your hawker or from your blacksmith, we're not really sure yet. We're going to have to wait and see. But we're going to be able to come in here and buy more of our things that we need. For those of us who have plenty of silver, this is going to be a great thing to have. Go cut down on some of our farming now. If you don't have a lot of silver and you don't want to be buying that stuff, how do you get it? Well, shipwrecks is the best way to get the materials to build your cannonballs and your repair kits, obviously. So like if you come in here right now, you can only get like 5 at a time, which isn't bad. Obviously it'd be nice to get in bulk if you can. Bombards, I think it's 10. Cannonballs, I believe, is 25. So yeah, you can see that there's some limits on there right now of what you could buy. It'll be great to actually see those limits disappear in the game as well. So I'm also hoping to see some increasing in our drop rates. Now I will say, when I say I get bad drop rates, I'm talking about furniture items. It seems to be giving me plenty of the cosmetic crap. Now I don't really care for cosmetics. That's just me. Those who are hunting cosmetics and you can't get them, man, I hate it for you. But if you're getting the furniture, I wished I could swap out with you. One of the things that I am doing is I'm trying to keep my pieces of 8 around 300,000 right now. The reason I'm doing that is you can only carry 300,000 into the next season. At least that's the way it was going into season 2. I imagine to see the same going into season 3. So one of the things I'm doing is buying a lot of these materials, but I'm also trying to buy a lot of these crates, these legacy caches, okay? And when those drop rates start to adjust, we're going to open those up here on the video. Someone had requested that we open those up so you can see what kind of rates we're getting, drops and stuff. We're getting these Lepes strong boxes. I've just been kind of hitting these slightly today, getting some of this stuff and just stacking a lot of these up. Our Gold Raider caches. Sometimes you can get those helm leases, so I'm kind of saving those up for season 3 as well. You get those boxes whenever you do your defenses. That's how you're going to get that stuff. And like I say, we're coming up on, what is it, 20 days? 19 or 20 days, I believe, before our next season starts. Even less than that. It looks like 16. So 16 days before season 3. That's going to be awesome because we will be seeing that new dragon. I can't wait to see that, man. That's going to be awesome on there. New weapons, new ships, new armors coming. So going to be some great stuff. So ship builds, we've shown you quite a few in the past. Some of them were, some tweaks. This is our monster build. This is what we've been using on our monster ships. Been able to solo most of these today. Now obviously we're waiting for that Silent Death or whatever, the Megalostar, to come back out, see how the ship fares against it. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine, but let's change your ship. So my favorite ship, the one I call River Rat, is just a sloop. Now my favorite ship is still that Sambuck, at least until this new ship comes out, man. I never cared much for, I'll be honest with you, man, this ship here. I named it Prometheus. That is that new brig. I never cared for it personally. A lot of people will use it. I think it's junk. So hopefully next season's ship is a lot better. But as far as what ships do I prefer, man, my biggest go-to has always been the Sambuck. I know there's a lot of people that hate on that ship, but for me, if you could deal out the amount of damage that this thing does as quickly as possible, it doesn't matter if you're going to last long because you're going to blow them up before they get you. So let's look and see what exactly we're running on this thing now. So of course we are running those Zama 3s, and then I put a fire bombard on the rear. Now the reason I put this fire bombard on the rear end is we had issues where people would like to kind of draft behind you and follow you in PvP. So this does a pretty good job of getting them off of your butt, you know. That's the main reason why I have that on the rear of this ship. And then of course our Warhammer here on the auxiliary port. Armor, we're using the Buccaneer's Oath. Fantastic armor, 1200 rating on there. Got 20% explosive negation, 15% flooding negation, 20% fire negation, 20% piercing negation. That blood gold perk, that's going to add that 25% extra weapons damage and armor for 30 seconds every time you sink a ship. It resets that 30 seconds. It does not stack the 25%, just so you know. I know that there was a few people reporting that they think it stacks it. I've not noticed that it stacks, but it does reset the 30-second timer, and that's all you need. I mean, honestly, really. Now, Sticky Fuel Station, increased duration of ablaze effect on enemy ships by 10%. I enjoy using that one. We get a lot of ablaze with this ship. Some folks don't like it. They think it's only good for using like that Seafire. That's untrue. Anything that causes the ablaze effect, as soon as you create that effect, it increases it by 10%. So you don't need to just use Seafire. Need to make sure you read these things. Scrapper Station, this is a great piece on there. I took it off for a while because it was just destroying everything, but now that they're nerfing our ships, got it back on there. This is going to restore 8,000 whole health after a crew attack. Then of course our Fontana Station, that is for our rockets. Then our demi cannon furnace, that is going to increase the maximum range of our demi cannons by 10%. Definitely worth having on your ship. Maintenance Forge restores 1% sphere damage per second while out of combat. I do recommend that you put that on the ship, or you could use Ouroboros armor and use another piece of furniture, you know, on here to boost your weapons. That's up to you. And then of course volatile fuel increases charge rate of ablaze effect on the enemy ships by 10%. So definitely worth putting on there, guys, in my opinion. Ship cosmetics, that's going to be dealer's choice. The cosmetic I am currently using is, pretty sure that was something that we opened up in this pass. Looks like we got this music set here, that something new that we've been opening up as we take on these twins. To be honest with you, I'm just not a cosmetic person, you know. Cosmetic count, it's not something I really run after, but I do like the cosmetics that we got from season 2 past. That's pretty nice stuff so far. Now we may see something better come along, but we've currently named this ship Neros. But that is my favorite ship, my all-time favorite ship. Now we also have a few other ships. We could go over those real quick. It doesn't seem to be too awfully long of a video. But the Aegeon, if you notice, I'm using a lot of ancient Greek names and stuff, you know, or even further back throughout history. Things that had to do with, you know, ancient sea gods and creatures and stuff like that is kind of what we're looking at. But when we're using our bark, this is our battle bark. Fantastic build, I think. It's one of my favorite ships to use, especially if you're just out on your own. It's going to be one of those things that heals itself. Kind of does status heals for folks that are around you as well, but it lacks the punch that some of these ships have, such as the sloop. I mean, for such a small ship, this thing is just impressive, the amount of damage it'll put out. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. I would recommend, if you have plenty of pieces of 8, make sure that you're stocking up on your rare materials, such as those things that you convert into lacquer and stuff, wood tars, sheet glass. Make sure that you're stocking up on that. If you've got plenty of that, what should you do? Well, I would recommend that you buy the legacy chest. The reason I say that is you do have a chance to get in those Dardanelle cannons and different things like that, the Coronades. Now we're supposed to be seeing some increases to the Coronades and the Long Nines with this next update coming up. So I know I might, for my ships, I'm looking forward to seeing that. My Snow, I run long guns on, also bombards, but I also like those carronades. And right now, the carronades and the long guns have just been kind of weak. We seen earlier in the season where they had given us about a week where they had buffed those up to kind of show us what it's going to look like. Then they nerfed them back down, but they're supposed to be bringing those back up. So, legacy caches, definitely make sure you pick them up. You can get those Rema Legacy Skurlock Long 9s and all different types of weapons out of it. Plus, we'll probably see a lot of this stuff come in. If you don't want to open them all up right now, because I don't really need a lot of the weapons that are in there. I own most of it. But there may be some things that we want to see open up from Season 2. Now, as far as I know, these are just for weapons. It's not for furniture, but it'd be cool to see Season 3 if they added some of these rare furnitures that are just a pain in the butt to get to drop, man. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed some of these drop rates that they've been doing. It's just been insanely hard for the furnitures. But that's what we're waiting on. I want to wait for the Lestari to come back out. Mega Lestari, I got to get that trophy. And then I need the, what's it called? The organ grinding station from the Zamaharabu. And then I think I'm going to be good for the season, man. So I just got to get those. It's been a hard grind, man. I mean, it really has. But, you know, with any game, MMOs, stuff like that, you're going to have to grind. And you can trade around with friends. Maybe you end up getting duplicates so you can trade around. That's what I recommend doing. That's usually what we end up doing within our group. So a lot of awesome people that we play with over here. So if you're looking for a good Discord group, definitely send me a message down in the comments. We'll get you an invite out. Always looking for some good talent. We are working on some of our future plans for our PvP guilds and stuff like that. Now, that has not been released in game yet. It will in time. I don't expect to see that probably until Season 4 or maybe the beginning of Year 2. So we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. I hope you've enjoyed the video, folks.